I've actually never said that on no.
I like that. That's dope.
Before.
I'm very into. I love ASAP Rocky and like the ASAP Mob and like what you're doing with the heat advisory. Like, because
do you feel like these are things that you like me when I was watching Dame Dash in college, and I'm like, I like that he doesn't let nobody fuck with him. You know what I'm saying? Like, are these things that you like? I like that, and I want to become more like that. So now you like. Through that example, you're like, I'm gonna practice that to be better at that as a leader, to gain these qualities that I need to be that person that I want to be.
How do you make a baby by not making a baby? Got it, yeah.
But I knew, I was like, if you can move people like
welcome.
that, bro. It was like my 6th game of my senior year, and I actually tore my ACL.
If you have a good product, if you do something really, really good, all we're trying to do, the easiest podcast that you're ever gonna be on, based on like how far your success goes, you know what I mean? Because like you're gonna have, it's like PR, it's gonna be all this like, what do I say, what don't I say, all that kind of stuff. And that being said, good morning YouTube world. My name is Joshua Coates and your overnight success story, and this is Sips and Slides. Today I've got a visionary. I've got somebody. Can you wait for a second? Because it's on me first. You're not seeing you yet.
Hey, as you're doing
let me talk
as
about
you're
you.
doing this, like the way in your life.
So today I've got a visionary. I've got somebody who was courageous enough to think about creating his own show. He is young. He is entrepreneurial. He's really taken Arizona by storm. He has brought a lot of people together, and he's doing a really good job creating a space for entrepreneurs, for artists, for singers, for freaking everybody in the entertainment industry. He's doing a really good job bringing all those people together. And this person is none other than E.A. Jones.
Man.
Woo!
Honestly, you the perfect person to be doing those intros, bro.
Oh my God. Well, here, let's go ahead. Let's go ahead and clink this. Cheers.
Cheers.
To Sips and Slides.
To Sips and Slides, man.
It's time to chill with the guy. Sips and Slides. Let's be honest, it's a whole different vibe. Sips and Slides. Sips and Slides.
Beautiful studio here, man. Thank you so much for the intro. That was beautiful.
Well, yeah. I mean, it is true.
It was beautiful.
Now, we are going to go into the other part. We're going to go into everything today.
Let's do it. Let's get in. Let's dive in and get spicy today.
Yeah. Oh, definitely spicy. Okay, so I said a couple things in the intro.
Yeah.
And if you don't mind, I will tell. I would like to tell the audience some of the things that we are involved in together.
For sure, absolutely. We're doing a lot of dope stuff.
Yeah. So let's start out. I want to start out like this. I said a lot of nice things, and those things are relevant. Who are you? Who are you to Arizona? Who is E.A. Jones? Like, let me get some insight from you.
That's a good question, because I feel like when people ask that, you be like, damn, what's the best way to sum yourself up? I feel like for me, I'm just a guy that's out here trying to figure it out. I'm a hard worker.
I feel that, yeah.
I love my work, you know what I'm saying? Like, I love being creative, so that kind of really fuels me. But I got big dreams, and I want to do big things out here, and I feel like even me working with you kind of can attest for that. But that's it. I feel like I'm just a regular guy, but at the same time, I'm trying to do big things, so that makes me a little bit different than some other people.
You definitely are different.
My man.
Yeah.
Okay, but what are these big things that you're trying to do? That's a very vague statement.
Yeah.
Before we get there, I want to ask that question again, but when you said, what'd you say? You said you are very different.
Yeah,
what makes
you are very
that?
different.
What makes you say that? What would be the first thing that came to your head when you say that?
So whenever you and I had our conversations,
Yeah.
It occurred to me that we aren't like we're different, clearly, but we're very similar.
Yeah, true.
Because we're just trying to figure this shit out.
Right.
And there aren't a lot of people who like gave us the blueprint for like how to do any of this.
That's a fact.
And so like you're in the entertainment, and that has like an umbrella of so many different things.
Yeah.
I'm in media, and that's an umbrella of so many different things.
Facts.
And so you're looking for the right answers the same way that I'm looking for the right answers.
Yeah.
But it's fucking hard. And at the same time, what I'm learning right now is keep things close to the chest. I feel like you knew that before I did. And and so, it's really interesting just because like in watching you it's the same way that I do things. Like I try and leverage the best thing that I did prior, and then have somebody look at it and say, okay, that's worth this much. Like that's good. Like I like that.
Yeah.
And then you take those two and then you leverage to the next thing.
Yeah.
And so I do that. But then I also watch you do that too.
Yeah.
We have a different vernacular. We have a different vocabulary.
For sure.
Right?
For sure.
So like I get so like I don't get to see it often. But when I do realize that like you're doing your best to play the game of chess.
Yeah, for sure.
I feel like you guys really only see each other in like more stressful context also.
True.
Like at events,
Business situation.
planning things
True.
that require a lot of moving pieces.
That's true.
So you guys probably, I don't want to say you see each other at your worst, but you probably see each other at your less fun, much more stressful states. You guys probably
Which
have
makes
no
times
idea.
like this is very enjoyable.
Like I'm very curious to see how like just sitting down and talking with like not having to get something done.
Right.
Yeah, this is
I'm
the
And I
first
love that
time.
we have Edie in here too, because she's like, because we are very business-like, so she can kind of take our minds off and be like,
I'm the
oh
buffer.
yeah, that is a good point.
Yeah, no, seriously, like she's really good at that. Like
I'm
that's
in
why I
connection
wanted
with
her.
the audience. I'm gonna let you guys know when nobody has a clue what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Like literally already in the last 3 minutes.
Hey,
it's
that's
like
good.
Leveraging resources. I'm like, okay, be
Yeah,
more
nobody
specific, guys.
cares.
You're being all vague and
She's
weird.
like, what do you actually do, bro? Like,
You guys still have not made that clear at all. You're like,
Okay,
we're
so-
entrepreneurs and we're grabbing stuff.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
So
allocating resources.
so
Yeah.
no, you're right. I'll add on that, and then we're gonna go back to your question.
I like
Okay.
that.
So let's just say I don't know the right words to use, but I do know that if you have a good product, if you do something really, really good, all we're trying to do is find somebody who sees the value in that product, whether it's a song, it's a video, it's a photo, and then have them give us money for to do something for them or with them.
Yeah.
That's literally all we're talking about. And I like the fact that like I started off without knowing any of this vernacular because like it was what? What? Why are you laughing?
Sorry, me and Simon just have eye conversations. Don't worry about it.
He said,
Yeah, no, I was like, what? I just saw both of you.
he's like, I see you guys over there.
Sorry, it's not
Don't
our
worry
fault.
about it.
No, that's fine. That's fine. And by the way, so Simon is like on.
He's
And so-
mic'd up.
Yeah,
Word.
Simon is
I
mic'd
got a
up.
mic.
So-
If
I
you got
love
any
that too,
questions
'cause
for me,
Can they see you though?
no, they can't see him.
He's just a
I wish they
mysterious
could see
voice
Simon
in the
though, because you know how
background.
sometimes they'll flash it over to the back production. He's
Yeah.
like, he's having his comment. He's like, well, man, I don't know what it would. I don't always agree with that.
I'm
man.
like, hold on. We got to pump the
He'll try
brakes
to
on
do
this one, guys.
Like the voice of God. Like you guys are wrong.
I love that. I love
Yeah,
that.
yeah. Okay, but
You
anyway,
were saying though.
Anyway. Sorry, guys.
so I guess the reason why it's vague is because we don't. Do you know what ROAS is?
Who?
ROA. Yeah, right. ROAS.
No, I've never.
And
heard
or
of it.
CAC.
No.
All right, so those are business terms, and like, I know. We'll talk about it later.
Right.
But that's why this is a perfect example. Like, whoever does the reel for this, ROAS, ROAS, and CAC.
ROAS and CAC.
Okay.
Yeah.
The reason why is because that's in business terms. That's what social media is, and we'll talk about it later. Just you know, we can all talk about it later.
That's a fun fact though, just so they know that.
Yeah, exactly.
That's informative. You know
Now
what I'm
you're
saying?
smarter. You're
People need
welcome,
that.
America.
Yeah, for any, I'm not going to go into it because it gets really boring. So
it up.
just look it up: ROAS and CAC.
Yeah. Keep
and then
it
you'll-
spicy. Keep it
Put
spicy.
down in the comments what it means.
Yeah,
If you know what it means, drop it down below, man.
Oh man, you are such a personality. But let's go back to Eden's question.
Yeah.
So
I don't even remember what it was.
So what are you trying to do?
Well, I think this all started,
Like, what are the big things? Yeah.
The whole because it's like I played college ball like my whole life, or I played football my whole life, so I was always into sports. And so when I went off to school, like, but I've always been creative. However, it's like, you know, when you're playing chess, you like, I don't really know how to play my next. I don't know how to even put that in position. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I'm just kind of going with the flow, but I've always been creative. Like, even as a kid, like, I always tell people I was in DMX's video. That didn't just happen by, like, chance. It's like some...
You were in DMX's video.
Yeah,
That's
bro. When I was a
lit.
little ass kid, it was like my stepdad. He was in part of the Rough Riders, which is like, you know, that's what DMX was.
Yeah.
On. And so, you know, he was very much tied in with that, to where it was like just little things like that. along my life where I look back and I'm
Little
like,
signs.
it's always, and then I love music too. Like I very much love music, like when I was growing up. So it's something that I knew I had an interest in, but I didn't really see myself like necessarily doing it. So I was just playing ball, and that was the thing that I seen. Like I always knew though, since I was a kid, like I'm gonna have houses, I'm gonna have car, and it's just what I like though. You know what I'm saying? I like jewelry. I liked expensive, finer things. That's just like when I saw the inside of my house when I was a kid, I'm like, I want marble and granite and pools and you know what I'm saying? All the things that people see and put on their Pinterest list and all that type stuff. So I knew whatever I was gonna do since I was a kid, I was like, it has to make a lot of money so I can get that stuff. But I was like, I want to play football because that's what I was at the time. I was like, I'm better than other people at this, so I might be able to take this serious and do something with this. So that was my hustle. I was putting my whole life into football, and you know, I ended up being able to go play college ball. So that was like, okay, you're on the right track to that. And so throughout college, though, I started like, you know, just because you're meeting people from different. Like I had friends from Miami, from Houston, Dallas, California, you know, Vegas, New York, all in the same
vicinity.
There you go. And it kind of we started like being creative. So I kind of was the person who led that ship though, as far as like, you know what, I'm gonna take this studio equipment from the house that I just seen my brother kind of like make a song with. And I took that back to New Mexico and I set up like I took the foam from my mattress and put it on the wall, created like a little booth in there. And then I literally have artists coming in like who were just from the hood in different places and had stories to tell and had dope personas and voices and stuff like that. And I'd be like, yo, come in here and just let me hear that one more time. You know what I'm saying? But now play it, do that, now do it. You know what I'm saying? So I'd be kind of doing that with different people, bro. And it's like, we're actually making dope songs to where like the school, like the vice president is like wanting to put us on like one of the little showcases that's coming up for like we had these things called Great Race where it's like a party week into college.
Yeah.
And so we do like a show where we bring somebody big out to start the week off, but they would also allow, if you're dope enough, they would allow you to go up there. So it was like, that's when I was like, okay, we're actually pretty decent. That's when people at the time started calling me EA. Cause I was like in my classroom one time, bro, was like, how can I brand this? You know what I'm saying? Like that's when that thought process started clicking. I'm like, okay, my first name started with E, my middle name has A, and I was like EA, and I was like EA.
What's your middle name?
EA. Ooh. Can we do that? That's confidential information.
That's
It's Elijah Jones. Give me your fucking middle name.
It's Emmanuel.
Emmanuel.
That's never. I've actually never said that on no.
I like that. That's dope.
Before. Yeah, so it's Elijah Emmanuel Jones. So it's E.A. Jones, and it just had a good ring. Like, and then I kind of thinking like at the time I was playing football, so I was like EA Sports in the game. Yo, I might can run with that. You know what I'm saying?
Flow.
So that's when that became, and I was like, yo, I want to do music. You know what I'm saying? So as I'm like, I think that was probably like sophomore year of college. I transitioned to like a junior, and that's when you're getting more grown and you're getting more sure of yourself, and you're like, fuck that, I don't care what nobody has to say. Like, I'm about to do what I want to do. So I'm telling, and that's when I got the love for music, and I was like, I started creating song after song after song in my dorm room, telling stories from like my growing up times, and that's when I was able to really like get in that bag of like, yo, I'm a really good writer, and people actually connecting with my songs. Like I got people in the DMs like, yo, bro, this song really like, I was having sex with my girl last night, and like, I'm like, what? But at
Wait,
the same,
he had sex to your song?
to my song
Oh,
type
that's hot.
shit,
Nice.
and I'm
like, thanks for telling me.
You know
I
what I'm
think,
saying?
but
No, but at the same time, it's like that's my work though. So I'm like, yo, like
it's like I made a baby.
Appreciate that though. You know what I'm saying? Like, so that.
How do you make a baby by not making a baby? Got it? Yeah.
Yeah, like,
But I knew, I
yum.
was like, if you can
You're
move people like that,
welcome.
bro, if somebody could actually like physically move to your song, it's like
Yeah.
you doing something right, bro.
That is very true.
So I really took on the EA thing from there, and then it was crazy because my senior year of college, when I was playing, you know, I played all 4 years. It was like my 6th game of my senior year, and I actually tore my ACL. And so that for me was like a world shaking, because I was thinking the whole time, I'm like, this is still on the table though. You know what I'm saying? Like, because there's plenty of people from my school who have gone pro. You know what I'm saying? In my same situation. So I was like, it's not off the table. You know what I mean? Like I have one more year, my senior year, where I could have played an additional year.
Yeah.
So I was like,
I had no idea.
it's still there. You know what I'm saying? So when I tore my ACL, I'm like, okay, maybe that's God. And I really got like in my head of like, maybe that's God trying to tell me like, all right, if this is really torn, then maybe he's telling me go push this other thing. You know what I'm saying? Maybe he's telling me like, yo, it's not over. Go push this.
I feel that.
So in that moment, I remember I was crying, bro. It was like I was in the shower. I was crying because it was the day before I had already got the MRI. I had to go and see the doctor, and he was going to tell me what was going on with my knee. So I'm in there like, what am I gonna do? You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, it was more just like I kind of locked back in and was like, all right, bro, it's either gonna be like, if he tells you it's torn, go chase that dream. If it's not torn, then you gonna heal up and you gonna play that last year and try to push that. So once he told me it was torn, bro, I didn't cry. It was over with. I'm like, I'm on. You know,
because you made the decision before you went over there.
Yeah. So once he told me that, I was like, say less, bro. We out. You know what I'm saying? So I graduated. I came back home, and that's when I like really started pushing this whole thing of like, I'm an artist. I'm an entrepreneur because as an artist, there's things that I needed, like clothing. Like I feel like as an artist, your appearance is huge, which I feel like respectfully, a lot of artists don't care about that out here. You know what I'm saying? But for me growing up, like I told you, I was really into music. So those were the things that had me saying like, this nigga's dope. You know what I'm saying? Like, dude, 50 Cent, he buff, got all the girls, he got the chains and the cars. Like, that shit's fly. You know what I'm saying? So as we become artists now, it's like, why would we not think that that's just fly no more? You know what I'm saying? Maybe, but people have different values and things that they want. And like you said, like, you present your image how you want to. You know what I'm saying? But if you're a hip-hop rap artist, I think that is something that people think of. At least be presentable.
That actually makes me really happy that you're bringing that up, because I do, like, it's part of the thing, like, artists that I can get really into, like their visual aesthetics and like how they present themselves is a huge part of it. Like, and it ties into the sound too.
Nothing to do with jewelry or cars, because like you said, like who's your favorite artist?
It's like an aesthetic. Well, I was like, this is something where I'm trying to decide like how to ask about it, because like I'm very into, I love ASAP Rocky and like the ASAP mob and like what you're doing with the heat advisory, like. Because I've looked into like how that came to be and like how it began, and like what you're doing with Heat Advisory models it a lot. I don't know if you know that it models it a lot, or if you like purposely were inspired by like things like that.
For sure.
But I see the parallels like so heavily, and they talk a lot about how they've spent a lot of time looking for like the fits and the pieces and like making their aesthetic. Like they knew how important that was, and they're the ones at the top. So I'm like,
and it doesn't have to do, like I was saying again, it doesn't have to do with like, because not everybody is into like jewelry and cars and clothes and all that, but it's just like
the visual aesthetic.
It's just like, yo,
you're like you're a character,
gonna
you're
present
EA.
something though. You know what I'm saying? Like I want people to buy into this image, this brand. You know what I'm saying? So whether that's like
so become a
emo
whole world.
aesthetic, whether that's like the flashy thing, whether that's like eccentric style, like whatever your style is, like invest into that. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
ASAP Mob though, yeah, like I definitely like and these are things I grew up on. Like when I was, that's why I say like I like the environment that I grew up in. Like I was raised out here, but I feel like my family was very cultured. But my environment, like my parents always did what they could to put us in the best environments. But like my environment wasn't very cultured. You know what I'm saying?
What is the best environment according to your parents?
I think a place where your kid's not getting taken, and the school's system's good, and
like what kind of school did you go to growing up?
Like suburban areas. You know what I'm saying?
Like public school, yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
So I'm just curious though. You know how you referenced 50 Cent and his like the money, the chains, the girls, the granite countertop, you know, the not linoleum,
the luxury,
like all the luxury shit. So like
finer
you know,
things.
You like the finer things.
Mm-hmm.
Do you see the difference between how he was raised and like the issues that he faced versus the suburban lifestyle that you had? Because and there's a reason why I bring this up. You want you want the nice things in life. I want the nice things. I think you're psychotic.
Like you're saying, like how do you connect the two?
Well, not how do you connect it, but I don't think there's anything wrong with wanting the nicer things in life.
Yeah. I think a lot of people do, you know.
But the way that 50 Cent attained the nicer things in life is vastly different than the way that you were raised. And not in the gang violence, not in the drug life. Because like you can make a lot of money. And I'm not gonna say how I know how you can make a lot of money.
I know.
But you can make a lot of money
For sure.
very quickly.
Yeah.
But you can also die very quickly, and that's why he was shot several times.
Absolutely.
High risk, high reward.
High risk, high risk, high reward.
And that's why I know that he was a
Amen.
businessman.
Yeah.
However, I'm gonna tie this back to the clothing thing because like I'm super interested in what both of you have to say about this.
Me too.
In terms of, so he was basically like repping like gang culture whenever he was like coming up.
I would disagree. Well, hold on. I want to say though.
Oh, go ahead.
Because I think I was always fascinated with 50 just because of his like hustling, go getter. I don't give a fuck who you are. I'm still competing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so like for me, like when I watched his
Well,
story.
hold on because you and I had a conversation about his book, and he has a really good book, and you put me onto that book, and I listened to that book, and that was a very educational book from a different perspective of a business business mindset from somebody who came from a more ghetto beginning.
Yeah.
We'll leave a link to that book down below.
Sure.
Click it.
Good job. Nice.
My job,
Yes.
I'll do it.
That's it. I like that.
And before I like forget where I'm going with this, so clothing. You know how he started like with his clothing. So like and I wish I even knew whose phone was that. I wish I even knew like where the history of like chains and gold and the diamonds and all of that stuff came from, because that has to come from.
It come from the culture though. That's why I say like the culture. It wasn't. We didn't see that growing up in my environment, but I was fascinated by it. That's something that I like. When I seen it, I'm like, that's fly. You know what I'm saying? Somebody else might be like, this dirt bike's fly. I'm like,
Yeah.
that chain fly as hell though. Where you get that?
But what you guys were just talking about was like, it doesn't have to be the chains and all that kind of stuff.
It's about having like, I'm trying to figure out how to describe it. It's not about what you're wearing, what piece it is at all. It's about
The aesthetic?
It's art. Like you're an artist. It's about how you pull it together and how you make a look, and like it's your look. Like when you see EA, like he looks like the Heat Advisor and he looks like EA, and that's like And if somebody else went and like dressed like that, you think that kind of reminds me of like the Heat Advisor, like EA. Like you have an association. It doesn't really matter, and like you don't have to associate yourself with diamonds and Lamborghinis. You can associate it with whatever you want to associate yourself with, but like if you can successfully like make yourself that, like that's very impressive. And also have like a good sound and like good quality merchandise and like be a good person, like the whole combination of things.
And that's what I saw in somebody like 50 or
and you can see it through his aesthetic though. Like you could understand him based off of how he
But I
portrayed
like all
himself.
the things that you just said. Like you have to have the right aesthetic. You have to have the right, like a good sound.
It's a recipe.
You have to be a good person. Yeah, but like literally all of those things have to combine for you to like
make it to the top.
Yeah.
No, that's true. That is true.
Yeah, that's why you need a team, because you can't really be good. Like you could be the best leader in the world, but like
you don't have your team.
There are places where you lack.
For
but like,
sure.
what would you say like in doing all of this? Like, what are the biggest struggles for you? Where you like you need help and there's just no denying that you're like, I cannot do this part by myself, but it has to be done.
I think it's just like like trying to be like when you're in the position of like the person who created this thing, you know what I'm saying? Like people are definitely looking up to you as like, what are we doing? What's the answer? And you may not always have the answer, you know what I'm saying? Which is like when you're saying like, oh, it's cool to like you're pretty resourceful, you know what I'm saying? And it's like it's because like those times get hard.
I
and
have
you have
to.
to figure out like
everybody's staring
it's
at
either
you.
not gonna get done, bro, or you got to figure out some type of way. So like just being the leader, you know what I'm saying? And in those times when it's like things slow up and people have life things going on, and you have to be the person to like keep the ship going, whether those things are going on in your life or not. You know what I'm saying? Like so, you know, just having people,
calm.
just making sure like you keep your head focused and being like, okay, guys, this is the next thing. Just show up. You know what I'm saying? Like. Just keeping the next thing coming, I feel like, and being the leader is like my biggest concern is like the leader. You know what I'm saying? My biggest struggle. Trying to be more of a leader.
That's fascinating that's the thing that's like the biggest struggle to you, which makes sense. It's like a very hard thing to do, but it's also like the thing that, at least to me, is like most natural to you.
Yeah, I feel that for
like
sure.
if like from the distance where I'm standing from, like we really haven't talked much, and like but like we've been working like on the same project, and like
we'll
that's like only what I've
between.
seen of you is like he's clearly like what I just like have been wondering like why are all these people so down to follow this guy everywhere? Like there's a lot of people like, and these are like big things.
Yeah,
like clearly like I don't know how we got here, so clearly he's resourceful, and clearly people want to follow him, and I don't understand why yet.
I'm starting to figure out why though. I feel like even when I look at some of the things that we're doing, it's like if I say I'm gonna do something, we're gonna do it. You know what I'm saying? And I think when you get around people like that in general, like if somebody like even just like our friends, like somebody's like, oh, I have this amazing business idea. It's 2024. I'm about to launch it, and then it like 2024 passes. You know, you're like, that's great. You know, you keep doing your thing, and then you look back and you're like, hey, did you ever? No. Okay.
No. Oh, yeah. That's
cool. All right. But it's like, you know, it's not like you let me down, but it's like, damn, okay. I just take note of that. And then when you see the people who are like, hey, I'm about to build this building this year, and they get it done, and you're like, I respect you. Like, you know what I'm saying? It may not even be like but it's in my head. I'm like, I respect that. Yeah. So I think I built a lot of trust with my guys with the things that like.
So speaking of, why don't you talk about, because we referenced it a lot. So can you talk about what is the Heat Advisory?
The Heat Advisory is a media platform. It's a creative media platform made up of, it was 7 guys, but it's 5 guys. We're all different creatives, so artists. We have a producer on the team. We have Khalik, who's like a Swiss Army knife. But we're a collective of guys who, you know, we're basically pushing to showcase the hottest artists, creatives, and entrepreneurs through showcases. We do some events. I know you guys have been to some of the events. We're doing a TV show, and it kind of showcases like the basically everything we're talking about, like the trials and tribulations, the how to of creating everything that we've done from like these different events to the main showcase. So it's a media platform that's geared towards showcasing artists, creators, and entrepreneurs, and you gotta be the hottest. You know what I'm saying? So that's basically the Heat Advisory. But then also being me, like and you know. I feel like God brought the guys around me specifically because we all got that swag. We all are pushing the same agenda as far as like, I'm like, yo, what do you guys, most of the guys want to be hot, dope artists, really charting out here. Tony wants to be a real deal producer, which he already is, but you know what I'm saying? As far as like the numbers and the dollars coming and stuff like that. So
the consistency, it's really just the consistency for him, yeah.
You know, but once you start getting checks and shit like that, then people will say, oh yeah, you're really a producer, you know? But yeah, we all are like shooting for that same thing, and that's the coolest part about us is like we don't know each other from a can of paint. We didn't grow up together, nothing like that, but we came together on like, yo,
we don't know each other from a can of paint. I love that.
I got that from Jay actually. You know what I'm saying? He says that he'd be like,
really?
Yeah,
I can see that. I can see that.
You know, we don't know these guys from a can of paint. You know what I'm saying? So,
shout out Jay.
I think that's the dope part about it though, and it's like I believe ASAP Mob and these different groups that we all as a culture are inspired by came similar, just being like, yo, we have a common goal. We all are dope in our own different ways. We're not competing with each other. We just want to uplift each other. You know what I'm saying? And I think once we got that team together, that's what I've been looking for as an artist, a designer, entrepreneur, is a team. And then like once I created the Heat Advisory, that team came. You know what I'm saying? But the focus was like, we're going to help other people. That's, you know, and it's in the same process helping us because we're connecting with other forces that can help us as well. But that's the sweetest part about it. It's like, it's truly about helping other people. And then in the process, we're benefiting a lot from it as well. You know what I'm saying? Versus like when you're an artist or a designer or, you know, entrepreneur, we tend to get selfish and
you get manipulated a lot.
Manipulated, but in the process, I'm also saying like, you get kind of distracted with like me. Like I need this, I need that, I need this to get here. It's also just
not fulfilling to do it by yourself to a certain point.
It's not, because sometimes in studio sessions get boring, and you know what I'm saying. Sometimes sending it to New York, Simon, ain't always. It's fun, but I want to be in the same room as you, like so we can be in there like, ooh, this shit fire. Like, hey, bro, turn it up one more time. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. Like that shit is fun. You know what I'm saying. Yeah. So it's crazy though. I haven't even got to make music and be creative with the guys though. I
know, isn't that wild?
That's like the craziest part about it.
Because you've been busy building a foundation for something
for y'all,
huge.
Phoenix. We doing this for y'all.
And
you know what I'm saying?
I feel the same way because
with them.
So the thing is like, and
Sorry about it.
I'll go into it in a second because I want to talk about the artist auditions. I want to talk about like the show. I want to talk about like those steps.
Gotcha.
But it's so interesting because I didn't even think about it from your perspective.
Yeah.
Like you can't even make the music that you're good at making with the people that you built it with because you're too busy building this foundation, like what you said.
Facts.
I'm literally doing like it's the same.
You guys are in very, very similar boats right now.
Because I am, and like I'm gonna. I don't know how to. I'll let her describe me.
Yeah.
Because I don't want me to sound like egotistical in any way, but I know how to take.
Like, what do we want me to say right now?
So if you hear me out real quick, and then you'll understand what I mean when I say this. I know how to shoot any type of photo shoot there is.
He's phenomenal.
Word.
I know how.
She said, "Okay, yeah."
It's annoying. Like literally, he could take the most things that we do. Yeah.
So that's where I'm going with this. Watch where this goes.
Yeah, I'm gonna let you finish actually.
Yeah. Well, no, but she can expand on it. So I am really good at. I've spent so many years perfecting photography and videography, knowing how to like really get any shot that I want if I have enough time.
Right.
The keyword, if I have enough time.
Time is it's of the essence.
And then he went, damn it, this is not gonna do anything for me if I have to do everything my goddamn self. And so then you had to stop everything you were doing, stop having your fun, making your money, getting all these gigs, and you had to teach us.
Yeah.
And now you have to be a leader because you both are natural leaders. It pukes out of your pores. There's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah.
Sorry, but we want to be as powerful as you guys someday. So you got to stop making music for a second.
Right.
And you got to stop taking photos for a second so that when
Touch
you
on
don't
that.
have everything that you need to do it, we can do it for you.
Fact.
We want
Yes.
to do it too.
And
Yes.
We want to be
you
included.
you said something where you said, "Damn, I just lost my train of thought."
Sorry, I got really excited.
You said something good though.
That was good.
We'll keep going.
Keep going.
Yeah.
If it spins a block.
I just the point I was trying to make is that it's very interesting to see a perspective in the music industry of like how a leader can't even make their own music because they're too busy building this other stuff with these other people.
Yeah.
It'll pay off, guys. It'll pay off big.
No, I know it will.
And that's the thought I was thinking was like, because even some of the guys, you know what I'm
Because
saying?
that's why you came to a halt.
They'd be like, yo, when we gon'
where's the
you know what
money?
I'm saying? No, not even the where's the
Oh,
money,
yeah.
but like when we gonna create dope shit us.
Yeah,
you know what I'm
yeah,
saying? I'm like, and you know, it's just that reminder within ourselves and each other of like, yo, like I have to remind them like I've tried that. I'm sure we've all been on this journey for a long time ourselves.
This is just
And it's like,
part of
look
the
at what we've done in
process.
6 months together by following this team.
You know, I
oriented
actually
think
have
about other
so
people thing.
I've been working with I think I've talked to you about her and then if you can plug this too. So I've talked to you and you're going to be on her podcast too. Her name is Melissa. She has the Talk to Me podcast.
Oh yeah, I've heard it. Yeah, I remember that.
She
Shout
has
out to
been,
Talk to Me podcast, man.
There you go.
like
Yeah.
and subscribe, follow Maddie and Mel, geniuses.
She
said-
for
still working
20
on it.
plus years, I don't want to say 30 plus, but it might be that. For 20 plus years,
Yeah.
she's built business strategies.
She's actually so freaking smart. It's
She-
insane.
I didn't so I didn't
Shout
know
out to
this and
Melissa.
so she
It's insane.
Word.
yeah, she's helped others make hundreds of millions of dollars with their business strategies and then helping them look for like and so that's what she's helping me with now.
Word.
Because I've said this over and over again to Simon, to Eden, that like I've always, and I probably to you, I think, on some of our phone calls, I've always looked for a mentor. I've always looked for somebody, and everybody was just try to like take money from me. Everybody like there were so many things.
That's the manipulative part.
Exactly. And so like I'm like, bro, I'm just trying to get some. Like I'm a natural born leader, right?
Yeah,
so
yeah.
like just give me the right steps,
Right.
and I'll fucking do it.
Right. And that's why I go
ahead.
That's why I like people like 50 Cent, people like Dame Dash, you know what I'm saying? Because although people have their own opinions on them, like those are the people that like are in a position, not even like from a mago standpoint, but like, bro, they do music, they done fashion, they've built $1 million businesses, they do
moguls.
TV, you know what I'm saying? Both of them, you know what I'm saying? So they have, and the thing about them is they're in a position to where they don't mind giving off some game to the internet or to the podcast just to say, look, stop letting people fuck you, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
a young artist, like, why do you not know that you're making 20 cents when you could be making $1 doing this? You know what I'm saying? You peeping it. I'm like, you know what I'm saying? Writing it down like, damn, they talking to me. So a lot of the things that they're talking about are in their experience.
That's the
they've
difference in
experienced.
you, though, is that you listen when they say that stuff and
Well,
you take
yeah,
note.
but,
and
but
you
there's
act
actually
on
there's
it.
something there, and I've told you this before. I've got a lot of those friends. I've got a lot of millionaire friends
Yeah.
that like there's something that I realized, and they actually know it too, but they don't have enough time on stage to say this. They purposefully, some of them purposefully, others not so purposefully, they create a disconnect between the success and the person who's listening. Because one, we both know this. If we say too much, then people try and steal it.
Right.
And then number two, if you become so successful, you sometimes forget how you got there. And so, anyway, the reason why I brought that up, the whole point is because she was teaching me something, and I want to teach you something after this podcast, how you guys can actually make music and also build the heat advisory.
I like that.
Because there's something that I never even thought of, and then she and I had about an hour, bro. The amount like per phone call, the people like what she charges for a 1 hour phone call is ridiculous.
Fees crazy.
And because we're working with her and we're helping to create like her podcast, the Talk to Me podcast, like and subscribe.
Go listen.
It'll be
Mel
in
is
the
genius.
somewhere over here.
Down below,
Yeah,
man. Down below.
Down below. She is giving me her time, and it is incredible how there are some things, the CAC, ROAS, things like that I've never heard of before. It's incredible, and I want to share that with you. We won't do that right now because again, we'll be fucking boring.
Yeah.
But
they might be listening though, like you said. Some people actually listen and take it down.
Exactly,
you know?
and that's one of.
But we don't want to tell them too much or they steal it.
Right.
Oh, okay. Here we go. Here we go. See, exactly.
You know what I realized though in that process, like even if somebody did try to replicate what we doing, bro,
it won't look the same.
Well, now that we've done it, it's
you.
like people are gonna see that and be like, "Yo, that's kind of like you said,
That's
like
kind of like the heat
it's
advisory.
kind of giving heat advisory
now,
vibes."
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But you know, keep doing you, and that's why for me, it's like just keep doing dope shit. And for me, it's also like and that's as I'm learning to be more of a leader. I'm like, fuck holding it to the chest, bro. At the same time, it's like because if I can give you even though.
Are you saying to the public or are you saying to your team?
To public. Team, they already know what's going on, bro. Team, I've never had nothing
how do you
from the
feel
team.
about the public?
Yeah, because
The public, that's what I'm saying. Like,
because now I'm being told to shut up
Define the public down.
The public is people watching us
on
right
social
now.
media.
Just any person watching.
Yeah, just anybody. It can
Anybody
be,
who walks up to EA and being
hey,
like,
yo,
let me
bro.
get a picture,
or not
the
even
people
that,
on
but like,
social
hey,
media.
bro, how are you doing this? You know what I'm saying? It's like, well, what specifically? And it's like, well, how did you set up the live auditions? And it's like, okay, I'll tell you. You know what I'm saying? Because in my head, it's like, if you can recreate it, cool. The whole point is building culture out here. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, but you know, in the same aspect, I understand that like you have to be selfish until you make it. Then you can turn around and give to people because you
And that's what I'm learning right now, and it fucking sucks.
Yeah,
dude. Like
because,
I want to help them. So I want to help everybody so bad.
Yeah.
And like
but you got to get it too at the same
exactly.
time. Like,
and that okay. So the word that I've been struggling with that I figured out how to switch was selfish.
Selfish.
And I hate that word because
It's not
I
bad,
grew
though.
up.
It just has a bad connotation.
So
to
what
it.
I learned, bad connotation. So
That's it.
in my head, I had to switch it. And what I've been talking to Simon and Eden about is the word boundaries, like setting proper boundaries.
Yeah.
And anyway, so that because the selfishness, that's that one part that I've been like trying to figure out, and I think
and that's that leadership thing that I feel like when you say struggle, it's like you struggle with because sometimes it's like, you know, I'm very selfish right now. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, well, I'm gonna pause both of you. Like, what things do you think? Like, what do you like? Both of you, what do you think is selfish? Like, what are the things that
I'm
are selfish
with my
that
time. I'm
wish
selfish
you
with
could
the
be
people
doing?
that I'll decide to work with. I'm selfish with
and what I believe selfish to you is
But those sound like what like
it's
those
not.
sound
You
like,
see what I'm
that's
saying?
not
It's not a
selfish.
bad thing.
No,
though,
I'm like
you know what I'm
that.
saying? Like,
Even when you're talking about it, when you're explaining to me, like Eden, this is how things are gonna be now because I realized I need boundaries and stuff. Like anything you've been like, this is how it's gonna be now. I'm like, that doesn't sound selfish or
Right.
bad in any way. Like I am trying to understand how you
Put it like
guys are
this, put
looking
like
at
this,
it.
put like this.
That
Yeah.
it feels selfish.
I'm as an entrepreneur, like for me, it's like my work is like what I love to do. So like let's just and we'll put it in like regular. Like let's just say my girlfriend and we have dinner planned for Saturday, right? And it's just like some special dinner or whatever. And then I'm like, yo, babe, like an opportunity just came up to where like I can get on Sips and Slides podcast, and that's very important for my career and like what I'm trying to pursue. and
So
they
right
may
now,
not
what are you
understand
doing?
it.
Are you saying
I'm going where the
You going on
views
the
is at. You
podcast?
know what I'm saying? So that may be viewed as selfish to her. She might be like, "You a selfish person."
Well,
But
then
me,
maybe she's just a
I'm
wrong
like,
girlfriend
yo,
at that point.
You see what I'm saying?
That's a different story.
That's a different
story,
combo.
but that's
But
what,
Well,
even in
but
the
that goes into
examples you guys are giving of the people you want to work with and
Yeah.
how you want to use your time, I'm like, well, if you were willing to be selfish and be pickier about who
Yeah.
you work with and how you're putting in your time, while it may feel like a detriment to what you're doing, it sounds like it would probably actually just benefit you.
But not it. Look, it
Or am
benefits
I
me
wrong?
individually.
Yeah,
You know what
Does
I'm saying?
it,
So
like,
I think that's
mean,
the.
if you figure it out correctly, though, like, because it doesn't, if you completely take those things away from you and you
Yeah.
never go on those dates with your girlfriend and you never
Yeah.
get to take a photo, like, that doesn't serve your team if you're depressed because you're
Exactly.
not
But,
fulfilled.
but see, Eden,
It's a balance.
A lot of girls don't give a damn. But well, we're just saying
Okay,
girls in this specific
Yeah,
topic.
this
yeah,
is just,
But like,
yeah.
let's just say like even like people, most public.
Okay, yeah,
people,
most people
the team
don't
gonna
get
understand
it.
like, yo,
But
bro.
the people that you're gonna want to be around
Yeah.
would get it,
Yeah.
right? So
and that's
I
why
think
like
you
my
should be
team.
selfish.
Yeah, that's why. But at the same
Both of
time,
you.
I'm trying to think of like even team situations working. Like, we have this powerhouse show coming up. I can only bring one person. I think he's the best person fit for this. That might be a little selfish because we all can't go, but at the same time, this is what's best for us. Just trust me. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah,
type
but again, that
vibe.
sounds like not
It
selfish
is,
to me.
but you know how
It sounds like you're
you're
being
just
a business.
you're a very understanding person. I can tell though. Like I can tell Eden's not causing problems in the relationship.
Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
I
Go
don't
back
know
to me.
about that.
Shame on me.
I think we can all pitch in on this one.
Let's not go there.
No, it's
but
okay.
she
She's not
seems-
perfect.
I'm-
None of
It's
us are
okay, it's
perfect.
okay.
I'm
We
good
all
at
have our-
business right now. I'm great
Okay,
at
okay,
business.
Okay,
But it
yeah.
seems like you're
Yes.
understanding though. Like
Very
because
understanding in business.
me, when I don't think that's selfish. I'm like, that's not a bad thing that I'm choosing my career over
See,
like.
I see the long term, and I'm like, that's great. You should go do that because you should
Right.
get your bag.
But long term, she thinking, well, if this is long term, then yo,
I think we're adding too many things into that
Great
because
is
that's
good.
that's
I am your
that's
wife.
communication.
I'm the greatest good.
So,
you are
yeah,
ever
right.
gonna get.
Yeah, exactly. That includes
That's
communication. That includes like, so how many times did you do something nice for her to then
But you
to
can't
allow
always
her to say,
Yeah, no,
True.
that's why
But
I
you
realized
can't
it
always
became
do-
a life balance thing, which is freaking
no, but
impossible.
that's why I say selfish because the life I live, bro, is very last minute. You know what I'm saying? Like things come
well,
up. and
that's
then
like,
I don't
yeah.
like when
Bro,
you like,
okay,
There's
can we
no
talk
way
about that?
around
If I
that.
can-
Can we
That's why I
talk
didn't
about
realize
that?
that about this
Dude,
world.
I'm
There's
yeah,
just no
so-
way around that.
Well, what
But
if
that's
there,
why most
what if there
artists-
Y'all
was?
become phenomenal.
Hey, look.
Yeah, what if we honestly
Unless
can
y'all
we
become more selfish.
can we make like you and I I'm she's noticing because it's happening to our company, right?
Yeah.
That
Wait,
like
what?
last minute.
Oh,
Last
okay.
minute stuff.
Okay.
Everything. Everything.
And it
And
makes
I work a normal job too.
I
Like
know,
when Josh
it
was like,
sucks.
"You want to get this Saturday night off?" I'm like, "I work at a bar. Like
Right. Like,
that's
it's
when I
not
make all my
realistic.
money. Like to ask me 3 days before, but it's like an event that I really want to do, and I'm
I
like,
know.
so am I going to screw myself out of $300, or do I think long term and go
okay,
to this
hold on.
event?
Let's
Yeah.
let's throw some tea real quick. The December event that we were
Yeah.
supposed to do with you.
Yes, yeah.
I had her.
Oh, the social.
The social. I had her
My
take
apologies,
the day off.
team. My
Well,
apologies.
and no, that's okay. But we're talking. That this is exactly what we're talking about. So I want to make
I
a.
also expected that, so I didn't actually request the day off.
And
Because
the-
I
well,
said in my
because of
heart,
how-
I knew it wasn't
yeah,
happening.
because of how many.
Hey,
well,
look.
Sorry about
yeah.
that.
yeah.
Hey, what you guys don't know is they're really putting me on blast right now.
Yeah,
But continue.
well,
look.
yeah.
We
And
didn't
it, but it
ask
goes
you
with the
to say it.
story. I like it.
Exactly. But, well,
Yeah.
otherwise, how would like? There's no
You're right.
context.
Give the context.
So yeah, so we're just talking about in to make it make sense for the audience. I like as business owners or as people who are just trying to be like organized and like try and get things done.
Yeah.
Like I want to make a declaration that I'm gonna be a better organizer, a better planner, a better communicator, so that way things don't happen like this anymore.
Right.
And so I want to ask you if you'll do this with me to make a declaration that we will be better people because the thing is like
He
Only
trying to make
way
me.
is up.
He trying to make me put it on wax right now. Is what he just said.
Yes.
He said,
We have
"Tell the
it on
camera.
yes, yeah, tell the camera.
Tell them that you swear that you're never."
Do you remember when you said?
Well, no, I
You
don't wanna say
remember?
never.
He's gonna play it back like
Yeah,
you
yeah, yeah.
He did
I don't want to
it
say
right
never.
here.
I don't want to say never. We're fucking
Never
human.
say never. I heard that.
We're fucking human. We fuck up so many times.
But
But
Joshua did
Absolutely,
have to explain that to me.
And that's why I say like being a leader is probably one of my biggest.
or not detriments. It's like
It's not detriment,
No,
but
yeah.
things that I'm like constantly
Working
trying
on.
to like not even struggling with, because it's like you just keep doing it.
Just
but
working on,
just working on it. That's the thing that's always on my mind, because there's so much that goes into that umbrella of like being a good leader. So like that's one of the things where it's like, even with my guys, I'm like, yo, like you said, like if we say 11 o'clock, that means me too. So like, you know, sometimes they call me Mr. 504 sometimes, you feel me? And that's like, that means I have a tendency to probably be 4 minutes late. And it's like, I don't like that either, because a good leader, I think, should be on time. Matter of fact, you should be there 5 minutes early. You know what I'm saying?
15
just to show
minutes
like,
early.
yeah, I don't know about
15
that.
minutes
but
early.
Look, but I think you should be early.
We'll be
though,
lit.
you know what I'm saying?
Early.
And just to
yeah.
show people like, yo, this is.
15.
I'm
And I'll tell you
serious
what,
about this.
you
and
know,
people
let
will
me
be
let me put
serious.
myself on blast real quick. So I had a photo shoot that I was helping my sister learn how to do some headshots.
Yeah.
I didn't get there on time, and I felt so fucking bad. Rarely.
It was devastating.
Rarely am I
What was the
late.
why did you feel bad though? Was it like
Because I'm
you
the
were late?
leader.
Okay.
Well, because I'm the leader, I had all the gear. I had the cameras. I had
Banking
the
on
gear.
you.
Okay,
I
I
had-
was raised in a world where like being late was really, really, really not okay. Like it literally in my heart, like just because, and I know it's just because what I was raised on based off of everyone around me, but it truly like being late is so disrespectful to me.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
It
actually,
is, though.
like it hurts my feelings. Like, and it's something I've had to work on over the past year because everything we've ever done ever in this world has been late, not on time, like just not like nothing.
Yeah.
And like I just have always grown up, and even going to work, like I will sit in my car a half an hour before work because I am not going to be late.
Yeah.
I'm like I don't, and like I don't know. I'm like, do you guys realize how much more we could get done
If we were
everybody
just on
actually
time?
showed up on time? Like just that one tiny
Facts.
piece of the
Yeah.
puzzle
Facts.
would actually change everything. And time is money. And if we actually showed up on time,
We'd
which
make some money.
Joshua tells people to come, and I think you should do this too. He tells everybody like half an hour to like 45 minutes before he actually
Right.
wants them to show up, because he knows no matter what, people are always going to be late.
Always
so
late.
give them the fake time. Be like, be there at 5 when
Facts.
you really don't need shit done till
Facts.
7. Because oh my gosh, I'm like, it feels like I like everybody around me like it's not a big deal. It's fine. Like yeah, it's a little annoying. Like it actually is a huge deal.
Especially when
blowing me
other
right
people,
now.
especially when there's a
big
team.
deal.
Yes,
especially
that's
when
the
you're
hardest
like
part.
trying to build something. Especially when like
Like I will pick everyone up. Buy me a 15-passenger van. And I'll go pick everybody up and make sure y'all
That's-
clock
yeah,
there on
yeah,
time.
I
Because
agree.
that right there would change so much. And that's the thing is, nobody in this whole ass state can figure out how to be on time.
Man.
So if you could be the ones to figure out how to literally just show up, and do you
On
know how
time.
much
Yeah.
that means
It
to
says a
someone,
lot. It says a
especially when
lot.
nobody else can. If you show up there 15 minutes before you're supposed to, like, oh shit, you could probably be halfway set up by the time everybody else shows up, and you're
Nah,
like, what's up,
facts.
idiots? Like we're done. We're fucking
Nah,
done.
that's real
Where
talk,
were
though,
you
Ian.
with your
Yeah.
coffee in your hand?
Hey,
Good
look.
for you.
No, I
we
appreciate
are
it.
already
That's real
ready to
talk.
go.
I appreciate it.
You know
I
what's
feel
crazy?
very strongly about this, and I
feel
always will.
I feel like when I was, because like I told you, I played ball growing up my whole life, so I was always on a very strict like schedule.
Oh,
like,
well,
Bring it
I-
back?
So, like, look,
no,
so,
I
like,
know, I
look.
know exactly where we're
Are you
gonna
just
go
like
with
this.
this.
enjoying not
No,
having that?
so
Oh,
it's like
God.
as like keep in mind, it's
Oh,
like
I
you know
know.
that was through like elementary. That's going through high school. Like I'm talking about 6 a.m. If you're late by 1 minute, it's your ass. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so how
Um,
did that not like stick with
And
you?
then
'Cause
college,
I feel horrible.
College, the same thing.
So
like
can I-
class. So when I got out, I'm like,
So-
yo, fuck a schedule.
So,
Fair
so
enough.
actually, no,
And
bro,
I get that
bro,
too.
I've got
now,
a friend.
I'm
You're
at the
a
point
leader now.
where
I've got a
I'm
friend.
a leader now. And
I've
I
got
gotta,
a friend. Hold on. So check. No, I'm not kidding you.
You're not
this
a
is so
fresh
interesting.
out of college graduate
said,
anymore.
I got a friend.
Bro,
I
like
got
no,
a
this is just so interesting. Like I can't fathom like how you like what you're saying doesn't
Yeah.
make any fucking sense to me. But I got a friend. I'm not gonna name any names, but I got a friend, and
He
they
swears
were.
he has a friend.
He swear,
At least one.
Now you gotta
I've
say
never met him.
you gotta say the at least their first initial or something, the initials. Can
It's
you
No,
give
I
the
can't.
initials?
Yeah. That was too initial.
I got a friend.
I got a friend. So they in high school and college, they were always like cheerleader,
Yeah.
like always like early 4 a.m. all the way up until college, and then afterwards, like because of all that anxiety, they just gave up.
See,
They
my
gave up the
anxiety
schedule.
still lives within me.
And so then
And I let it fuel me every day.
and that's how I'm early to everything because I have
Yeah.
anxiety about that. Like
Yeah.
I don't want to like. It doesn't matter. Anyway, so the point is, I was watching this person, like from high school.
Yeah,
I get it. Like it's not fun.
yeah.
and
it's,
Nobody
And
wants to be there.
And the thing is, like, they can't get back to it.
yeah.
They're
Nobody
trying.
likes to be told what to do. I'm about to start waking everyone. This is actually a problem with like everyone in my life. Like seriously,
We
when people
definitely
are just,
poke eating with that nerve. She's like,
no, dude,
I
it's
love
everyone.
this.
It's literally
Matter of
everyone.
fact-
I'm like, I guess I just have a larger amount of anxiety, but like I'm up and I'm moved, and I'm like, what is everyone doing? Just sitting around.
Yeah, that no,
Yeah.
that
I
is
get
exactly.
ready so fast, like, and that's the thing. If I know I have to be somewhere at 10, I'm gonna wake up and give myself enough time to get. Like, I know, how, like, have you not woken up and gone somewhere before? Like, you know what that
sure.
looks like.
we do.
Rhetorically,
know
like
what's
you,
gonna
you
happen.
fucking
We do.
know.
You know,
For
like
sure.
you're like, oh my god, sorry, there's traffic. Yeah, you know there are gonna be other cars on the road. Like, account for that. When
It's
you,
not just you idiot.
I'm like, I just don't understand why nobody can figure this out.
I
I'm
feel like
very
there's a million
confused.
excuses as to why.
There
it
are a
is.
million excuses
But
to anything, but also
I do.
it
That's
ain't
something that, like,
hard.
for me, yo, I'm like
Just be
getting
anxious.
back. Well, it's even just like, you know, getting
I
back.
just am gonna have to
into-
work on it
like,
myself.
Getting back into that, you know what I'm saying? Because I think for so long I was doing it to where it's like those couple years.
How
I was
long
on
have
my own
you
schedule.
had to not had to do that now?
I graduated in 2020, so like it's been what 4 years.
You've had a good, nice break.
Yeah, but for me, it's like even during that time,
What time
like
do you go to bed?
it varies because some nights could be.
Well,
5
yeah.
a.m.
Okay, so with the entertainment
That's
industry.
what I'm saying. So
Yeah.
that's why I say like it all kind of plays in because it's like.
So have you made a schedule for yourself?
Consistency is hard.
No, I just like to keep a busy schedule. Like I know, like it's crazy.
All right, here after. So
are you-
Even
I'm gonna
writing
show you
down
something.
stuff,
I'm gonna show you
bro.
something after because
Not
they
even
both
like a phone calendar.
they well no
I
no.
write
So
even
they
notes and shit
after
like that,
this
but
I'm gonna
that's
show
how
you
it's
my
You can even
I'm gonna show you my schedule, and you know it's on the 3-tier whiteboard, and it's not specific to any day or anything like that.
Yeah.
It's a working schedule, but like I feel
it's
like
a
you need
giant
it.
brain dump.
Yo, I need it.
I
And
feel
that's-
like you
and
need
that's
it.
Like
Because
that's like
if you want to
as
be a good leader, like I know you want to be a good
You
leader.
got
Yeah.
way too much happening
It's too
here
much.
to not have it
For
out in
sure.
front of you, especially with you got people that you have to think about.
Man, for sure.
That's
and I think,
where-
and I think that's actually another one of the biggest struggles that I deal with.
I think that's where you're being selfish. Actually, I think
There
you
you
guys
go.
are looking at it wrong. Like if that's somewhere you're being selfish is not being willing to like sit down and schedule out a calendar and
That's
figure
true.
out these things and not showing
But
up
you
on
know
time
what's hard,
because
though?
you're the leader.
As the leader, you stay on go, so it's hard to like sometimes even because the
Yeah,
times
I'm
that you
talking
take.
as not being in the position.
But the
that you
time
guys
where
are.
you
Yeah, yeah.
where you actually have to sit down and talk, you're talking to Josh, or I'm talking to another person, or I'm talking to somebody else, and then then I have that 2 p.m. and I'm like, oh fuck, I gotta go. So then it's like that nighttime when you just get back home at 11 p.m.
finally
12, and then
sit.
you're like, I'm fucking tired. I want to get showered, smoke a blunt, eat something, go to sleep.
Yeah.
And then
Which
you have
is
to
hella
like, and then me,
reasonable.
I still try to stay like I wake up like 7:30, 8 a.m. Like I'll go to the gym every morning, like.
Get your
So
shit
I keep
done.
like a morning regimen where it's like, all right, I know I'm gonna wake up 7:30, 8 a.m. I clean up my area. I'll go ahead and shower. I'll eat something. I'll go to the gym, and then from there it gets
It's like now
wild.
we can get started.
It gets wild.
I'm just
But
gonna-
you just
I'm
get
just
into
gonna-
the first thing and just keep going.
whatever. Yeah, because some things can come up like that same day and be like, hey, bro, do you have?
Oh yeah,
time
she
at 3
knows. She's
p.m.
seen
today?
me. She's
And I'm
seen a
like-
whole day,
Yes,
almost
I'm
every other day.
working
Yeah.
on,
Get derailed.
It's tough.
Yeah.
It's tough. So that's what's hard is like,
Which,
and,
yeah, I
I
guess,
need
respect.
I need that. That one thing I want to touch on is like
Yeah.
with the heat advisory. I'm a creative guy, and I feel like I'm still learning to be like this businessman. I know I want to be a businessman. The heat advisory is a business.
Yeah.
EA Jones as an artist is a business. The designer is a business. So it's like I have to do that. In order to do that, you have to create like that foundation and infrastructure. And a lot of the things that I realize I tend to struggle in is like I just shoot. Like I'm like, yo, like
Well,
I
it's
told
also
you.
because you have to be that at the same time.
You
You have
have
to be the
to.
fun personality.
but
And
when
those are
you're
two
think-
very
but
different things.
When you're thinking about things that you want to do, shit doesn't tend to get done. So if you like have a creative idea and you're inspired in that moment, I'm like one of those people where I like if I have some money, bro, and I want to go build this
You're
jacket,
gonna go make it
I'm gonna fucking
happen?
go build this jacket.
Like,
you know what I'm saying? And I'll
immediately?
figure out every step of the way.
That's a good trait.
But then it also sucks
But
because
watch.
when you
It's
build
what she's-
something like the heat advisory,
Why
it's
does
like
it suck? Yeah, tell me.
I just started shooting. I'm like, all right, let me do
And
this
now you
event.
have all this shit.
Now-
You're like,
And now you have so many
Now
projects that
everybody's
are
asking
started.
You all these questions,
It's all,
and I'm asking
and then you're
why
like,
you can't
what is
figure
the
out
heat
thing.
advisory? And you're like,
You're like, bitch,
I just
don't
wanted to
know.
build a
it's
jacket.
just
Can
a
you
lot
give
of
me a
dope
second?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Joshua's equivalent is I just wanted to take pictures of
Naked
naked
women.
women.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then
And
you're like,
now we
wow,
got
I
all this
realized the
shit.
business in that you have to have all these
Because you
different
guys are
components.
natural leaders. It's a tough burden to bear.
It
Yeah.
really is.
But these are some of the things
But
that like
the
are
payoff
tough.
is going to be beautiful.
Oh,
and
man.
Like,
And
that's
that's
my
why-
gift is I can see it.
And we
Like, I
have to
saw
have
it in Joshua
patience.
immediately.
Patience.
I'm excited for you guys because I
Man,
know
thank
you
you,
guys will
Eden.
succeed.
Thank
And-
you.
And I'm
Eden.
just excited
And
to
that's
be
why
here.
I wanted you and me to work.
Yeah.
Like
sure.
not just work, but to work.
Yeah, but we have
Work,
to. But
bitch.
I think the thing with us is like we're both leaders, and I think it's like we both are thinking. Obviously, I think it's like natural for us to think in our own best interest, and I think in order for people to really form like a true alliance, it has to truly be like, and not to say that either of us haven't done that, but it like with my team, I'm like, yo, guys, I need you guys to truly understand that like every decision I make, like, is truly for the heat advisory because I feel like it's what's best for this business.
Yeah,
and I don't
literally the same way.
Do you
for
feel
the
that
rest
you
of the year.
express that a lot? Like you say that
Absolutely,
exactly?
absolutely, and that's why sometimes let's just say even my team members make a decision. I ask them like, is that something that's for you, or is that something that could benefit us in the future? And be honest. You ain't got to tell me your answer, but be honest about that with yourself. Because
Let me ask you a question though. Whenever they say that, can you objectively go get out of your own head to see what they're talking about?
Yeah, for sure. Like even if
Because in the moment it might not look good, but
Yeah,
I've
yeah,
had
yeah.
experiences where like Eden,
yeah,
she's literally like, and I pride myself in this because like I want to delegate everything.
Yeah.
But these people, like my team, has to be good enough for me to delegate.
yeah,
And you know that.
yeah, you have to keep the shit flowing. Bro.
Yeah, exactly. You can't
Business has
because
to
you
go.
can't just like delegate something and then now you gotta fix a whole fucking mess.
Yeah,
Anyway, so she brought up an idea and I'm like, actually, that's a really good idea. We all have to do it for 9 hours.
yeah,
But if we do it, then something like this happens.
yeah.
And we did it, and it
I
was such a
love
great
that, like,
idea.
She came, not you, but she came with an idea and said, I think this could be beneficial for what we're doing.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where it's like, okay, now that makes you more receptive to her to say, hey, I have this idea that I think you would be great for specifically.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And it makes this, it creates this alliance between your guys' team where you're like, we got each other. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so I think for us, it's like truly like, and that's why even we've had our separate conversations where it's like, I don't mind sharing, even like with my guys. I'm like, yo, this is not EA and the EA's heat advisory. Like, we are the heat advisory, and this is what makes up that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So understanding that, it's like, it's not all about me, bro. So like, I do my own thing regardless. You know what I'm saying? EA gonna keep doing this shit just because that's what I've always done. But like everything that I'm bringing to the table, whether it's connections for people for you to meet, or it's events for us to go and do, or it's new ideas for us to eat off of and make money from, it's like, this is for us. I'm doing this for us. You know what I'm saying? I want you guys to see that as well, where it's like, now Jay Hayes gonna come and bring an opportunity and say, hey, bro, I got this little thing I'm thinking, and I think it could be good for us. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Camo is like, hey, bro, I got this new cipher thing that I was checking out, and I think this could be dope for us if we could get in there. You know what I'm saying? And we do that already. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But in order for us to really have an alliance, it's like we do that for each other. I don't care if you guys take this idea or take this thought and go and branch out, as long as it's truly like good intentions behind it. You know what I'm saying? Don't steal the product, but or I like to say, don't use me, utilize me. You know what I'm saying? And I think
That's
that's
a
the
good
biggest
one.
thing in
That's
it.
what I say.
Yeah.
Okay,
Like, don't
I got-
use me, utilize
I
me.
got a quick question for
Yeah.
you. So Joshua is running Five Flash Media, and I mean, for the most part, he's got two people that he's brought on who had little to no experience,
Yeah.
and he's bringing us up in like his experience. Now you're in a different situation where you are working with like a whole bunch of dudes who are your age. How is mentoring that? Like how has that been mentoring and like trying to get a group of guys that aren't just your age but also
Yeah.
have almost the same amount of like life knowledge as you do? Like
Yeah.
how do you get all of those guys on the same page, keep everyone moving with the same mindset,
Yeah.
like keep everyone together? Because that's
a good question.
can't
And
be an
age
easy
can
thing.
get real wacky because somebody like I have people older than me on my team, and it's not like, it's truly respect, bro. It's like having respect for each other. You know what I'm saying? And like, I think the things that I've done, have done in my life are respectable, and I think the things that they have done in their life are respectable. As to where it's like, I'm like, when I say something, I'm not talking down on you. I'm not little broing you or nothing like that, bro. It's just truly, if I feel like you fucking up, I'm gonna say it because I love you, though. You know what I'm saying? And so I think they understand that like, we're not just business partners, we're really brothers. You know what I'm saying? So like, we look out for each other in the business room and outside of the business room on the streets, to where it's like, they respect me, I respect them. If somebody has a problem with you outside this, that's my problem. You know what I'm saying? So like, people can respect that, and they're like, yo, this person really in my corner. So if I'm, and then also it's like, I'm pretty professional with it too, to where it's like, I've proven to them and gained that trust, where it's like, we're in a room full of people, and it's like, we have to talk to somebody, and I'm like, hey, my man, let me holler at you real fast. And then we all get to sit down and it gets done. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Where they only have to say nothing. But then there's other times where I'm like, hey, bro, you talk, or you, Khalik, can you reach out to this person and see if, hey, Jay, can you text this person and see, you know what I'm saying? So where we can, so that's where I feel like we have that respect for each other, bro. And that's like, if you guys respect Josh and he respects you guys, it's to where it's like, okay, I want to learn from you, but also like he can learn from you guys. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's the main thing is we see that. And it's like, okay, that common goal too. Like we all have that common goal. So I don't care how old you are, if you're younger, older than me, if you have something that I can benefit from, I don't care what age you are, where you come from, bro. Like I want to hear you speak. You know what I'm saying? I want to hear how we can figure this out, because then I might have something for you. You know what I'm saying? I think that was a great question, though.
Yeah, and that's what I was like. It's also nice to see, like, it's nice to see that not only is the heat advisory, the guys connect, because a lot of things that you hate to see is when people are connecting online. Like, you guys look like boys online, you look like homies
Facts.
online, and then you walk outside and they never see each other.
Right.
Or you only run into EA, or you only run into Khalik.
Yeah.
I can attest for
so
this.
true.
I run around downtown and I run into every
We
single one
see
of the
the
heat
heat
advisory
advisory
boys.
roll
When I
up.
see them,
Facts.
I see the heat advisory squad pull up.
Yeah.
Every single one of them are
Yeah.
together. You guys move as a unit. Like, that's just
You want to know something, Simon, too? Like, I think that's not something that, like, don't get me wrong. I think that's something that every team, like, you have to do stuff together, bro. Like, and it's like, not everyone, when you first come together, like I told you guys, we didn't know each other from a can of paint, but we had a common idea. So, like, outside of this common idea, we have our own lives, and people, whether they choose to hang out with the business or they choose not to, but we did relate in a lot of similarities. We all like music. We all like to smoke. You know what I'm saying? We all like to have fun at times, but then we all are like serious about what we're trying to do when it's time to lock in. So like that commonality is like, I actually like you guys. Like, hey, bro, you want to go grab a beer and talk about this? You know what I'm saying? So we started doing that. But then it was like being vocal about it and saying like, yo, bro, like, I don't want this to just be a business. Like, I want you guys to really be my brothers. I actually like y'all. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I want you to be family. Yeah.
So now it's like, now we're like, let's plan a barbecue this weekend. Like, let's bring some people out. And it starts, that's kind of how it starts, that family thing of like, yo, let's go have a drink and bring some people. Let's go to the club together. Why don't we just all go together? You
And
know
that's
what I'm
literally
saying?
what I do with them. Emily, Eden, Simon, Danae, like we've all done Thanksgiving, Christmas,
it's
like just dinners.
and that makes you like
Like,
this is my family, and it makes it so fun to like work, because it's like it's like I look at the things like that people get paid for in the music and entertainment industry, and it's the things that we already do. Although we don't get paid the $7,000 to be a DP,
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
exactly.
Stuff like that.
Exactly.
We're doing we're literally doing that stuff. You know what I'm saying? So when I unwind at 11 p.m. and I get home and I look at the day and I'm like, damn, I was just filming over here for 4 hours. I after that went to this other shoot where I'm doing this cypher thing for another 4 hours. I'm like, yo, I just worked a whole 8-hour shift for real, but I'm like, it didn't feel like that. You know what I'm saying? Because we're still hanging out, we're laughing, talking. We might be like we're doing the things that we would do with each other normally, and that's how I know, like, yo, I'm doing something that's got to keep going, because this is like we all love to do it. It feels good as hell doing this shit, man. That's the good thing about it. Like,
That's called
when I work
fulfillment.
at these other jobs, even just like jobs, like I used to sell solar. That's how I got into sales. And so I've always been a salesman, but that really kind of got me in my bag of like understanding like personalities and people and like negotiating and like all of those different things of like, hey, that's why I'm cool with being like, hey, what's going on? I'm EA, we the Heat Advisory, this Jay, this Khalik, blah, blah, blah. This is what we're trying to do, because I'm used to knocking on somebody's random door who I never met and have
It's
to
a
like
good
win you
thing
over
to
in
go
30
through.
seconds. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like that stuff also helps too. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to that, because it's like even Cam's been with me on some of my missions to like on the sales mission. He's got to like see it firsthand. So he's like, yo, I can respect that, bro. Like, that was really dope how you just got them to, they're deaf. These people are deaf.
Yeah.
And you just found a way to sit down in their house and get their system sold to what they need. You know what I'm saying? It's like, that's crazy. You know what I mean? So I forgot we were going somewhere with that, but I kind of got sidetracked.
It was Simon's question.
Just like leading peers, working.
Well, it was about
family
respect.
dynamics.
It was about respect. And
We're talking about the family stuff and all that.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I
This has been one of the easiest podcasts, though. We just flowing in here.
Yeah. No, it
It
feels
be
really
like
good.
that.
It'd be like that. Sips and Slides, man. Shout out to Sips and Slides, man. They definitely. It's like one of those. I like intimate things where it's like. Production is great. I love the production because that just like that's you gotta have that for anything. But I feel like when it's just like a good. But I already know you guys, so it's like it's cool too. Versus if you don't know.
Yeah,
somebody,
but going
it's
into
like,
a podcast or going into anything like this, even for me, even though like I've practiced being on camera, it's always like about 2 to 6 minutes where I'm like this, and then I'm like, all right, I can
loosen up.
yeah, and then I
relax
can
a
okay,
little
now
bit.
we can have a conversation. Yeah.
I like when you were talking about the ASAP mob and all the culture and stuff like that, and I'm like. Going back to like the culture out here, I feel like growing up, I didn't like these are the things I'm watching on TV. Like I used to watch Wiz Khalifa Day to Days and shit. And I used to be like, this shit is so fire, bro. Like he lives a lit ass life. He smokes hella weed. He's traveling all these different places, rapping, having fun with his homies who are just like literally producers and all that shit. I'm like, that's the life, bro. And I used to be so inspired. Like even like when Tyler created that wave came out, like I
rode that wave, bro.
But for me, it was like, keep in mind, I like, you know, like the stuff that I like too, but I'm also attracted to like cultural shit. Like I seen what he did there. It was like, it was truly a marketing play. I didn't see it at the time. I just seen it as like, what the fuck is he doing eating a cockroach? Like, what is he doing,
that's
bro?
what makes it so
But it's
awesome.
like, that was
coming from
mind-blowing
like
marketing.
watching it and being so entranced by it when you're young, and then growing up and being like you in the situation you're in and being like, okay, that thing that I thought was like such like a fever dream, like I can actually make that
Literally,
happen.
though.
It is like, honestly, the hardest thing for me is like the whole reason I moved out here in the first place was
Where are you
because
from, Eden?
I'm from Idaho, and it's things like the ASAP Mob and Tyler the Creator and like people like that. I was like, this is so amazing to
This
me,
is
like
what
this
I wanna
world,
be on,
like yeah,
like-
I was literally following that. I was like, I was just driving around in my car going everywhere in a little Prius trying to find, I was like, I don't even know what I'm looking for, but I have to find it. And I found Joshua. I got a random job out of that freaking bar at Palma, and I saw Joshua like promoting himself and getting everyone's Instagrams, and told me he had a media company. I was like, that's it. Like I need that and I want that. And we've been doing it, and I'm like, this doesn't look like the mob and the videos that I be watching and everything I thought it was. Like
this
I have to
ain't
make
A$AP
it look
Facts.
like that. Like
Yeah,
what?
He don't look like
Yeah,
ASAP Rocky, but
it isn't just
No,
feel
no,
it.
It doesn't
what
just
you-
exist.
no, what
it
she's
has
saying
to
is-
be created.
Oh no, I get it. I know exactly what
it's
you're
really
saying.
no, it's funny though because like she thought that there was like this whole
utopian world that I could just hop into.
yeah,
Yeah.
And what she realizes, she's like, oh wait, there's a fucking business behind this.
It's
Like you've
all
got
just
to
a
make it.
business.
You
Literally.
got to make it.
And if you can figure out
Which I knew
the
that
foundation
too.
and the formula,
To an extent, you knew, but like
I knew I wanted to do business, and I knew I wanted to do that, and I did not think
Create
that
art.
they were the same exact thing.
same with me being an artist. It's like I'm just making dope fucking songs. Like I just like to talk about. Like I just like that's what I love to do. It was like whether I get paid for this or not.
It's going
I
to
truly
get
like to.
done.
I want to be dope. Like I want to be like I listen to this music and this is the shit that I like, and I want to be on that level where. Whether people respect me or not, I want to hear myself and be like, "Damn, bro, that was."
Well,
that's-
also it's like when you
you did
listen to
that.
people like that, and like you said, like when you listen to 50 Cent and you understand what he's saying and what
Yeah.
he's trying to tell you, like when you can understand that in an artist, like you have to do something about that. Like
And
they're making that, they're like
Facts.
telling you
Facts.
that so that you will go and create the heat advisory and make it all the way up to them because they're gonna pass the baton to you.
Yeah. And one thing I realized, Eden and Josh, is like it doesn't matter where you like. What I realized growing up was like, although I'm not in no gang, regardless of me, I have my run-ins as a young man with you know drugs and all that stuff. But like, although I didn't come from necessarily the hood, it's like there's things that I can identify with and that I can pull from each of these people that I like and relate to. You know what I'm saying? So it's not necessarily that. And I don't even think 50 was in the gang, but he's more of like he was more of that street bully where he earned his respect through this street credit. You know what I'm saying? Versus so me, it's like, okay,
I feel like
maybe I
that's,
don't have
we're
to
like turning away from that though, like as a society. Like that's
Yeah,
not the
yeah,
thing.
that's not the-
That's not the
even
thing
those
that
people
you're
who do
like
that
getting
now.
away from. Like I feel like
Yeah.
at this point it's gonna be like the thing that people got away from is like the emotional horribleness of like growing up in this
You wanna
time.
know something?
And
though?
like all the
It's-
shady things that happens behind closed doors that
it's
people don't
the,
talk
it's
about.
the closed doors though, I think,
Exactly.
that are gonna keep that persona going in rap and hip hop music.
What do you mean?
Yeah.
Like you gotta understand, like the people who are funding these labels are like these billionaires,
Well, the
right?
big one.
Who also like are controlling the narrative of like, oh, we want this crash out guy. Let's give him $5 million who's never had it before, and
Well, that's
knowing
why
damn
I
well
want us
he's
to
gonna
control
fuck
the
that up.
narrative.
Let's get him to turn and burn real quick, drop some music for us, and then once he crashes out, we got $100 million.
Yeah, because that's their system that's been working for them.
You know what I'm saying? So I say like that's why it
But
takes
no,
people
that is-
like the Heat Advisory, like Five Flash, to create that, and then truly be like the CEOs where it's like I really am for the people, like I'm for my community. You know what I'm saying? I want my guys to succeed just like I do because that says something about me. You know what I'm saying?
Do you
And the
think that
people
these
around me.
people, before they became the giant multi-billionaire companies they were, do you think that they thought they were for the people?
Yes and no. Like I think
Can
Steve
I-
Jobs and shit like initially was like, this is what I love to do, and I think this could be like crazy for the world. But then once that money,
I mean more
and
like UMG type. Like
Yeah, no.
in terms of like the
like, I'll
industry
be-
we're in.
I'm not gonna say specifics, but like I know a lot of it was like racist money, like
So the tensions
generational
were
racist
they
money.
never even began pure.
Yeah, this
I
was-
think
this is
some
like-
of the independent labels, but like those big corporate ones, bro, they just seen this as like one of
It's
those
a
true,
business.
like it's a business. Like
They don't care about the art
they don't
aspect.
give a fuck about that. They want
No.
to
They take advantage of the people who are the art aspect who
Right.
don't realize it's a business, and they're like, "You're so
Exactly.
talented, good for you. We'll take care of all the
Right.
business."
And then I like that's why going back to 50 Cent, Dame, like those people, I like them because
They figured it out.
They were in that, they experienced that, and then well, actually, I don't even think they ever were signed to major label. They created their own shit from the get by seeing that and being like, you know what, kind
Fuck
of like me.
that.
I'm like, instead of me going under a major force, like a major umbrella, let me just create my own fucking network. It's gonna take a lot longer.
But
But
in
if
the
I can
end,
get like
Facts.
these
the
people
reward-
together and to push this thing and everybody puts their shit in here,
Yeah,
then we could all make millions of dollars and then we can create that. But nobody,
Things like that.
it's like, you know, it's like
And-
it's like putting
and-
your music on your website versus just putting it through DistroKid. It's so much easier to just distro it up and they take that percentage. You know what I mean? But then it's like hard to like on your website.
patience,
I'll
too.
charge $1 for the new single I just dropped, and I can probably get. 300 people to buy it, and then it's like to pay the $1, and I made way more off of that sale than I would have off of a whole year with Apple Music. You know what I'm saying? Like
Spotify, like
I started.
No.
I actually started doing that though, and it wasn't like a intentional. Like this is what I'm gonna do. This is the plan. It was just like somebody was like, "Yo, I'll pay you 100 for that song." And I'm like, "Ding!" Like light
Wait.
bulb click. Swear, bro. I've had a lot of situations.
and there's a lot of things that I don't know about the music industry about like how that even works.
Yeah.
So
I
like
do wonder how you're actually making money on music.
You don't make no. I mean, unless you.
Is this why
You can make money
is-
streaming. You can make money doing shows. You can make money off